Nikki was a librarian, school teacher. She was my substitute teacher, right? So you have to raise your hand and say, Mrs. Mom, it was very difficult for me, but she instilled in me a lot of positive things. And we're making gnocchi there. Gnocchi, not gnocchi and gnocchi. It's gnocchi, potato dumplings. Right? And she's the lifeblood of our family. And my other brother, you saw Matt, right? That was my brother in the video. I'll show you him in a second. Well, I have another brother, John. He was at a conference in San Francisco. So my mom left on the plane to Rochester, went to San Francisco. We heard all about how great time they're having, going up and down the cable cars, Fisherman's Wharf, all that stuff, right? They get back on the plane, they fly home. She can't get out of the chair. She can't get out of her seat. It was very embarrassing for her. They had to call the wheelchair people, throw her on there, take her home. Remember I told you she goes home, she had good insurance, right? She went to all the doctors. They did all the tests. They did everything, and then you know what they said to her at the end? Mickey, you're really not sick enough to not be able to walk. We really don't know what's going on. Well, I was practicing in Italy at the time, and my brother called me up, and I said, Matt, they're doing a lot of work here with lasers. A lot of my patients manufactured it. We had that stuff. I said, you should put some of that low-level laser or light therapy on her. And you know what? We got her back strong and healthy. She was really bad with the pain and the walker, and we had her back. This is her in New York City a few years after that. I met her there with her boyfriend. No, that's not me. That's her roommate, Howard. She's going to have her 88th birthday next month. And she goes around now and she's good. But you know, my mom had a lot of complications. She was a diabetic. She had one kidney. She had kidney problems. So it was very important because when the disease affected her, it hit her hard and hit her fast. And luckily we were able to recover. She walked all around New York. She came and visited me and she walked all around Venice too. We like to walk. We like to get out. So when you lose your feet, you lose your mobility, you lose your joy. Okay? Here's my brother Matt. Remember him from the video? That's his wife Sherry. You heard a little bit about her. Now, we're three boys in my family. She's the only, is that going, Doc? Is that going? Yeah. She's the only girl we actually had. She's been married 26 years this month. They went to Napa for their anniversary. Thank God she's still with us. So here she was. Two women that I really were a big strong in my life, both affected by neuropathy, and both able to recover with the therapies that we're going to talk about today. Okay? So remember, the talk is about a natural neuropathy pain relief. I hope that's what you're here for, because that's what we're going to give you. So I want to let you know that not just because we lived it, right? And I'll talk about my personal neuropathy story as we go, right? We all have a neuropathy story here, I believe, or we wouldn't be sitting here. But we understand you. I've been doing this for almost, 20 years almost, 1999, I think it's almost 20 years. And the doctors that work with us. So we've heard it all coming this side. Being a doctor, we see people from 5 to 95. And the neuropathy people are a little bit older. But this is exactly what they say in every state, in every country I ever worked in. This is the person that's sitting in front of me, more or less. I'll read it to you, okay? You can read it from there. I'll go over here and read it. Dear Dr. Roach, everybody know this guy, right? He's in the newspaper. My feet hurt me so much I no longer want to live. You know how many times I heard that? It was very rare that we would go a week without somebody crying in the office to explain to me their pain. That's a lot of weeks that I've been doing this. So, I'm a 63-year-old white female. I have type 2 diabetes since 2014. My podiatrist says that I have plantar fasciitis, osteoarthritis, and foot neuropathy. I have all the symptoms of peripheral neuropathy and then some. My feet feel like I'm walking on hot coals almost all the time. I would say there are only about 2 days a month when my feet feel tolerable. And I can't figure out why. My podiatrist can't either. I have been taking Methans 4 times a day and 400 milligrams of gabapentin 3 times a day. I cannot get any relief. Please help me! Exclamation point. I am at my wit's end, and the pain has driven me into a deep depression. Foot pain, what? Right? 24/7 has left me with no life. Well, I want to point out a couple of things on this lady here. So, I don't know, I'm just going to echo out here. Does that sound like anybody here? Let me tell you something else. Do you think that her situation came on just like that? No. So you're going to learn a lot more about neuropathy than you've ever heard before, because I'm not one of these ordinary doctors that doesn't understand why. And I'm going to give you the wrong diagnosis, and then I'm going to give you the wrong treatment. That's like doing a surgery on the wrong knee. What's your chances of getting better? So they said, misdiagnosed. You know, 64-year-old diabetic female. She got plantar fasciitis. I said, excuse me, are you a marathon runner? No. Well, that's probably the wrong diagnosis. The same way they give a diagnosis of fibromyalgia. That's not a diagnosis. That's neuropathy. Incorrect diagnosis, you're not going to get the proper treatment. Even if you get it, it's going to be sideways for you anyway. So, you know, the thing that bothers me is, yes, you started out maybe with just a tingling in the toe, or just the left foot, or just a little bit once in a while, just at night. We're going to punch little holes in that thing, because neuropathy is a chronic, progressive, neurodegenerative disease. So it's going to